morning, guys. Today I'm out on a little hike in the woods. Just want to check out what's going on. It's nearly the end of summer, and I just wanted to see what I can find in the woods today. Come along for today's adventure. There's tons of coyote poop on this trail. I really hope I don't run into a coyote. I hear some rustling up ahead. Let's see what we can find. Just out on a little trail walk today, and I happened to see a deer. The deer in this part of the woods here are quite tame. I want to see how close I can get to it. You know, one time I went on some of these little offshoot trails off of the main trail here, and I had this distinct feeling that something was following me. And I turned around and there was literally a deer or two, like a little train, following me. So like I said, people do feed the deer in the woods here, and they're pretty tame. So anyway, they weren't too startled by me, but I was a little unnerved that they had crept up behind me and followed me for a little while. It was pretty funny. It's a beautiful white-tailed deer doe. She's pretty used to people because she's just not running away from me. This is a little area here in the city where deer hang out, and coyotes and lots of other intra-city wildlife. And they're exposed to people, so they're really not that afraid, although you should be really careful around them because they can be startled. Especially this time of year coming up. It'll be the rut, well, maybe another month or so. And I've been in this area during that time, and it's kind of scary because the deer are just chasing each other around. Obviously, it's mating season, so definitely want to be really careful. So I'm just going to head on up the trail and see if I find something else really cool. That was a great experience. I'm not even that far into the trail today on our little hike, and I've already seen lots of wildlife and evidence of it. So let's head on down the trail. Tons of little chickadees around here. They literally just swarmed me as I ended up in this area. They think I've got something tasty for them to eat. Little do they know it's actually just a flower head. Ooh. The bird just tried to land on my head, but right here we've got a very small female downy woodpecker. Oh my gosh, that was a baby nuthatch. Clearly he's not afraid of people either, so I'm gonna go grab a little bit of my granola bar and see if he wants some. It's a baby red-breasted nuthatch. This year's offspring. See, his breast isn't quite red yet. I'm gonna call him Squeaker. Now's the time of year when everything's starting to get ready to migrate. We'll be having the fall bird migration very soon. And it's just really nice to get out and about and listen to the changing sounds of the woods this time of year. Lots of cool things that I'm seeing today. Just through here in the marshland, you can see a couple of painted turtles. So there's some young guys here. Not this year's crew, but last year or two, I think. You can see two of them in this image there. In this area we also have some rarer species, including Blanding's turtle. I haven't seen one this year, but they're really neat. They have a big yellow neck and a long head and a dark carapace. I remember seeing one guy on the Trans-Canada Trail, and I had to pull over my mountain bike and take a look at it. Very interesting turtle. One discouraging thing in this natural area that I'm in right now is that there's lots of buckthorn. As you guys remember from one of my videos last year, this is an invasive species, so very unfortunate that you see this kind of in these woods. So I came into this natural area also looking for mushrooms. I thought, hey, it'd be a great idea to go look for some, but I really haven't found too many. These woods are very rich with animal life, and that means they need food too. So I think what's happened is the deer and the other animals, squirrels and that, have really had at the mushroom population in these woods. So I think I'm gonna have to go deeper in the woods to go find any. Here's quite literally the first mushroom that I've seen today. Certainly not one I would be eating. Let's just take a little bit of a look at it. See if I can look underneath. This is when having a mirror when going mushrooming is really handy. Oh, ooh, yeah, look at this guy. So this one, from this view, you can see it's a gilled mushroom with little brown gills underneath, and it has a little skirt and a white stem. There's a little slug that's eating it. I'm just going to move him away for a sec. So yeah, It's a very interesting mushroom and certainly one that I'm not going to be eating. And I want to let you guys know about a really cool channel that I just discovered on YouTube. It's called Learn Your Land, and it's put on by a gentleman called Adam Harriton. And he does a lot of things, in the woods, and a lot of his focus tends to be on, mushrooms and plants. So if you're really interested in getting more into that stuff, like I am, go check him out. I'll put a link down below in the description box. His videos are typically really informative. He provides lots of information even on the medicinals, especially if you're looking at medicinal mushrooms and things like that. And really great guy, and I think he has his own little store selling some mushroom extracts and things like that. So go check him out. I'll put a link below down in the description box. Here's some more coyote poop on the trail, and as you can see, it is full of deer hair, so they are well fed in these woods. Lots of pretty wildflowers on this trail. We've got some black-eyed Susans, and we have some Queen Anne's lace. Lots of cool stuff, clover. Oh, look what we found, guys, a little frog. That's this year's leopard frog. Isn't he beautiful? These woods are moist, so they will quite often be traveling between ponds. Here's another cool find just off the trail. There's some Indian pipe, and I told you guys about these in one of my previous videos. So these are plants, they're actually flowering, that grow in very moist woodlands, and they get their nutrition from tree roots through actually a fungal association. Never told you guys that, but there's actually a fungus that connects the plants to the root systems near them so they can get energy, because they lack chlorophyll, they cannot get energy and nutrition from the sun. So really nice to see these guys in here. It means the woods in this area are quite rich and can support them. Here's a beautiful planted pine stand. It's like red pine. I think this plant was planted in 1962. I think a plaque back there said, so it's pretty cool. They're nice and tall. Beautiful red pine. Planted some of these at the cabin, but it'll obviously be a long time before they get this big. I wanted to show you this beautiful plant. This is called butter and eggs, and you can see why it's called that. The flowers itself look like little snapdragon flowers, and they've got orange and yellow to them. They're very beautiful. It's really long, and it's kind of nodding here and falling over. Butter and eggs, this is not a native species. This was introduced, I think they were found in Asia as well as Europe. And they've done well as sort of a weed in woodlands and disturbed areas. They also have purported medicinal benefits as well. They make beautiful fresh flowers in a bouquet. So a lot of them have been used for cut flowers. And they're really, really beautiful, actually. And their name is very, very indicative of what they look like. And of course, everybody's favorite, the ostrich fern. As you can see, it has these plumes that kind of come up and get wider in the middle and then taper at the top again. Ostrich ferns are, in the springtime, everybody's favorite because people use them for fiddleheads. So when the very small fern comes up out of the ground in the spring, they can be cooked properly and eaten. So it's good to know where your secret stashes of ostrich fern are. Well, the mosquitoes in here are terrible today. And we also have ticks. I know a lot of you have been asking me about ticks in our region, and certainly we do have a lot of the deer tick. Heard some rustling in this cedar, and this little tiny eastern chipmunk came out to say hello. Probably wonders what I'm doing with this white camera in front of my face. It's pretty cute. Looks like we've got some moles in the area. Here's some mole sign where they're turning up the soil as they're digging little holes and tunnels, so that's pretty neat. It's just on the edge of this part of the trail right here. Well, I'm so happy that I went on this hike today. Man, I've seen so many species of animals and plants and one mushroom. It's been really, really an enjoyable walk this morning. Thanks so much for watching today, guys. I hope you have a great week as always. Take care.